Now, one of the things we're trying to do with the Illuminated River is really play with people's compulsion to recognize patterns. Our brains can't help but synchronize signals that are coming in. So you're seeing a pattern on the bridge, and then you're seeing a bus or something move by, and the connection of those two things, even though they're not literally connected, just happens. So I think it's those moments of synchronicity that I'm trying to create, and because it's been made site-specifically and in response to its environment, all those things are in there, and it's highly likely that there'll be these connections that people make as they see it. I'm generally interested in the idea of pattern recognition and our brain's desire to make meaning. So you want to connect these things that you're seeing, and because these sequences are very abstract, they're single lines of light or color or monochromatic illumination that are moving back and forth, that doesn't match to something that we know. But we might recognize it as being similar to the movement of water or the tide. But then there's also these moments when maybe, a bus moves over, or a train goes by, and then the lights below it synchronize. So those things, it's kind of created with anticipation that will occur. The piece is intentionally not using any kind of sensors or anything that's very literal. So we could be doing that. We could be reading the motion of the currents or the movement of traffic and synchronizing the lights to that. But I find that that's not so interesting. I think it's much more interesting to be interpreting the site and to building in these responses to all the kinetic activity around it in a very kind of decoupled and non-literal way. But what happens is that there are these moments of synchronization where you do see something that, a bus goes over and then the light pattern synchronizes with it, and you could swear that those two things were connected. So I'm really interested in those moments. After spending weeks and months down by the river, the artwork has actually become much slower than even our renderings, and it's been interesting to create something it's very quiet and subtle and elegant. So it's really not about this frenetic disco lighting. It's something very different, very meditative and contemplative that's meant to really draw people into a different kind of zone and to encourage them to look at all the beauty that surrounds them here in London. Yeah, I think there's a softness to it, and something it's quiet, and it's something that is, I think, important in the city, and I think it will create a focal point and something that will bring people together.